Yeah.
How come you're giving me tiger look?
Because it's hot, it's so bright.
Okay. So you ready?
Ready, Zoe?
Zoe's ready.
I got moi moi.
Okay. Here you go. Good afternoon, everybody. It's Ned over at My Philippine Dreams with my lovely wife, my Yaya, and my beautiful daughter. Yesterday, I passed a milestone in the Philippines. After 8.5 years here, accident-free, I got into my first motorcycle accident in the lovely Republic of the Philippines. And this is what I posted up on my Facebook, so check this out. So, after 8.5 years in the Philippines, I got into my first motorcycle accident. Not just a dropping of the bike, but an actual accident. What happened, I was going down the road, and I was going to turn left. I had my left directional on, and I was turning, and a camote, which is somebody who's speeding, hit me from behind. But I actually knew the guy. I've done business with him before, and he apologized and everything. Any accident that you can walk away from is a good accident. I was down for a little while because I smashed the side of my head, and let me tell you something, for years I did not wear a helmet in the Philippines. And is there any damage on the helmet?
Yeah, it's over here.
Yeah, so I went down to the left, he hit me that direction, so I got a little road rash here, a little road rash here, some road rash up here. Also, the reason why you should wear shoes when you're driving in the Philippines, here's a good example. They used to enforce that. Got a little bit of road rash here, here. The worst thing though is when I impacted, my elbow was right at my side, so it's hard to breathe deeply. So I think I either bruised ribs badly or might have broken a rib. I'm not sure, I'm just going to self-monitor. But just another example of you really got to watch where you're going. And it's not you that's usually the problem, usually. But you just got to watch other people and see what's happening. Puppies, rainbows, unicorns for everyone. See you next time on My Philippine Dreams. Yeah, and as I stated in the video, it's pretty self-explanatory. What had happened was I had pulled to the side of the road. I had turned my right directional on. I had pulled to the side of the road to do a U-turn. There was a gentleman coming down in the opposite direction at a high rate of speed. I thought I had gauged it correctly, and I had. But he was just going so fast. I did my U-turn. And then I had to go to the left. So I put my left directional on. I did not signal with my arm. And in the Philippines, I always signal with my arm. You can ask Chichai, right? Mm-hmm. And if you're in the back, you do. I always make sure I tap your leg and say left turn, right turn. And if you notice I'm having a hard time speaking, it's because of the damage to the rib. The swelling's kicked in. Taking a bunch of tramadol, a bunch of ibuprofen. It's still hurting. But again, it could have been worse. Any accident that you can walk away from, like I said in the video, is a good accident. But to continue, so I had done my U-turn, I was signaling a left turn, and I was pulling over to the left to talk to some guys. I was looking for where the J&T Express office was for a box drop-off, and all of a sudden, bam. I went down, my head hit the ground first. I fell on my left side. That's why everything here is all tore up. Fell on my left side. And unfortunately, my elbow was right on my ribs. So we went to the hospital yesterday, about 2 hours after the accident, and they did an x-ray, come to find out I got a broken rib. It's not much fun. Last night was fairly sleepless, but I got through it. And again, it could have been worse. So dude hits me, he basically falls on top of me, bikes are down. I was only going about 10 kilometers an hour at that point. I think he was probably going about 50 kilometers an hour, or if not faster. He hit me hard. I went down. When I came, I don't know if I went unconscious or not, because there's some details I can't remember. But when I came through, I'm like, oh, I'm going to have to get a new helmet. I got up, yelled camote at the guy, and then I recognized him. It was somebody that I knew, and I was just like, oh, jeez. And we took each other's pictures of our driver's license. There was no severe damage to my bike or his bike. We'll do a little overview of the bike a little bit later. And then we came back here, and Chichai, of course, went through my phone, got his driver's license name, looked him up on Facebook.
And I messaged him.
Like the good little NBI reporter you are.
Yeah, I was blaming him.
And you, why did you message him? To scold him?
Yeah.
To scold him. That's what they do here in the Philippines. And he admitted that he was at fault.
Yeah. Told him that you know that you're responsible of the accident, right? And you said, yes, ma'am.
But all's well that pretty much ends well. Right now, let's just go over overview of my wounds first. All right, so this is 24 hours later. You can tell I didn't have long sleeves on. Had no protective equipment whatsoever. Let's get this in the sun so everybody can appreciate the beautifulness of it. Now, it takes me a lot to get bruised. And you can see on the shoulder. The shoulder took the majority of the impact on the side. And that thing is bruised and all freaking road rashed. But again, road rash isn't a big deal. Nothing's too deep, nothing's too gross. The worst part was the alcohol and the antiseptic and all that stuff. And I got a little bit on my feet. You can see that beauty. They used to enforce, you know, making people wear shoes and sneakers. I mean, that's my rib. It's only common sense in the Philippines. I mean, anywhere you're driving, to have shoes on to protect your feet. If I had been going faster, that could have been hamburger. So, again, all's well that ends well, I guess. Oh, good. That would be a good still. I'll use that for the thumbnail. All right, so let's take a quick look at what happened to my Click. I love the Honda Click. I am keeping this bad boy until it explodes. Right now, it's got about 36,000 kilometers on it. The only issues I've had, I'll do that in another video. All right, so what happened was basically, it looked like he braked, but he didn't brake fast enough. And it looks like he impacted right here on my muffler guard. So he hit there, and again, when somebody hits you at speed, these are light bikes. These scooters are light bikes. Bike went down to the left. The only damage, yeah, you can see, that's the color of his motorcycle. I don't know how his motorcycle got all the way up there. Broke the side view mirror on the left side.
Scratches here.
Scratches there.
Here.
Yeah, I've had those. That's me crashing into shit. Scratches on the side. Surprisingly, it didn't bend this out of shape too much. A lot of times you see scooters in the Philippines and the left or the right handbrake or clutch is all peeled over to the side. So the damage to the bike wasn't bad. He was okay because I padded his fall. I was like a big mattress for him. And this just goes to show, you know, when I'm driving in the Philippines, I do about 40 kilometers an hour. Whenever I'm in town, that's the fastest I go. My wife actually drives faster than me sometimes. I've seen her. And one of my former Uyab drives like an absolute maniac. We won't say any names, Lynn. But speed truly kills. I know a number of guys, personally, who have died or have got themselves horribly disfigured in serious motorcycle accidents. Scooters are great. They really are. You get 85 miles to the gallon on them. They're great for doing errands around town. Yes, we have a car, but we don't take it out that much because it's just not really all that convenient to bring it into town because it's a pain in the ass with all the traffic and everything.
We only use that for Zoe.
Yeah.
If we'll go.
The reason we got our 2017 Hyundai Tucson CRDI, which I absolutely love, is because of Zoe. It's actually the Zoe mobile. It's her car. One last thing. Hold on. We'll cut. All right. Let's cut back in. So, this is my cheapo Chinese motorcycle helmet. For many years in the Philippines, I didn't wear a helmet because I was too cool to wear a helmet, unless I was going on long trips. That's how I rationalized it and justified it. But you can actually see the damage to the helmet. That would not have been good if it was my head. Again, I can't remember if I went in or out of consciousness or not. I've actually had a number of concussions in the past. When I was at Fort Bragg, I was on the boxing team. It was like a badge of honor to get a concussion. We didn't use headgear or anything. And also, one time snowboarding. It was so bad, I was hospitalized. So, luckily, I did not get another concussion. And it basically all ended well, but it shows the importance of safety gear, even though it's hot. What's interesting is the rivet. There's a pop rivet right there on the inside holding the straps. And the rivet had come out. So, about 4 or 5 days ago, I replaced it, you know, doing what I had to do. I've already ordered another helmet. Finding an extra large helmet in the Philippines is extremely difficult. I wear a 7.5 hat size in the United States, so I get a big freaking head. So finding an XL, there was only one place I could. It was on Lazada. I've already ordered it, but this was just a stopgap, and I'm glad I had stopgapped it because I wouldn't want that chin strap coming off, because that would not have been good. So enough babbling. Hope you enjoyed the video. 8.5 years, crossed that milestone. Nonetheless, every day is a holiday. Every meal is a feast here in the Philippines. This is Ned.
Chichay. Janet.
And Zoe. And she got Peppa Pig. And we'll see you next time. Puppies, rainbows, unicorns, and accidents you can walk away from. For everyone, see you next time.
Hey, if you consider our work to be of any value, consider supporting us on Patreon. If you're a Patreon, you get a free copy of my ebook, and we do monthly Google Hangouts. So consider doing that, if you would please.